Discover how the first typewriter, invented by Christopher Sholes in 1868, changed the game for writers like Mark Twain and Ernest Hemingway. Christopher Sholes invented the first practical typewriter in 1868, revolutionizing writing forever. Mark Twain was the first famous author to adopt the typewriter, using it to write Life on the Mississippi. Early typewriters were prone to jamming, earning them the nickname literary treadmills. Ernest Hemingway, a prolific typist, could write up to 500 words per day on his trusty Royal Portable. The Remington No. 1, released in 1874, was the first commercially produced typewriter, priced at $125. By the 1,920 over 10 million typewriters were sold worldwide, making writing more accessible to the masses. Count down the top 3 most intense 0-0 draws in the Premier League, featuring Manchester City versus the Premier League, has seen over 2,500-0 draws since its inception in 1992. Manchester City versus Liverpool in 2018 was one of the most intense 0-0 draws in Premier League history. This match saw 14 shots on target, with Manchester City dominating possession 61% to 39%. The 2018-19 season saw the highest number of 0-0 draws in Premier League history, with 12 matches ending goalless. Chelsea holds the record for most 0-0 draws in a single season, with 7 inches the 2004-05 campaign. 0-0 draws make up only 7% of all Premier League matches, making them a rare and intense occurrence. Join Ninja Warrior competitor Joe Moravsky as he attempts to conquer the infamous Warrior course in the American Ninja Warrior competition, featuring challenging obstacles like the Mega Wall and Salmon Ladder. The American Ninja Warrior competition has been broadcasted in over 160 countries worldwide. Joe Moravsky, a seasoned Ninja Warrior competitor, has completed the course a record 25 times. The Warrior course features 10 obstacles, including the notorious Mega Wall and Salmon Ladder. The Mega Wall stands at an intimidating 14.5 feet tall, requiring immense strength and technique. The Salmon Ladder, a fan favorite, demands precision and agility to ascend its 20 rungs. Only 40 athletes have ever completed the entire Warrior course, making it a rare and elite achievement. If insects were to compete in the Olympics, which ones would take home the gold in weightlifting? Insects are incredibly strong, with some species lifting up to 850 times their own body weight. The trapjaw ant can snap its jaws shut at 145 miles per hour, generating massive force. The leafcutter ant is a top contender, lifting pieces of leaf up to 50 times its own body weight. The dung beetle can pull a load of dung up to 1,141 times its own body weight, a record-breaking feat. Some species of ants can even work together to lift objects several times their own collective weight. If humans had the same strength proportionally, we could lift a small car with ease. Watch as a modern-day reclusive record-breaker attempts to spend 30 days in complete solitude, with no human interaction, and see if they can beat the current Guinness World Record for longest time in isolation. The current Guinness World Record for longest time in isolation is 264.4 days, set by Nathan Zuckerman in 2015. The record breaker attempting to beat this record will spend 30 days in a specially designed isolation unit. The isolation unit is equipped with basic necessities, but no communication devices or human interaction will be allowed. The record breaker's mental and physical health will be monitored remotely by medical professionals during the attempt. Previous isolation attempts have shown that hallucinations and sleep disorders are common challenges faced by participants. Revisit the tragic story of Air France Flight 447, which crashed into the Atlantic Ocean in 2009, and learn about the investigation that revealed the shocking cause of the disaster. Air France Flight 447 was a scheduled flight from Rio to Paris that crashed on the 1st of June 2009. All 228 people on board were killed in the disaster, making it the deadliest air crash in French history. The aircraft's black boxes were not recovered until nearly 2 years after the crash, in May 2011. Investigation revealed that pilot error, not technical failure, was the primary cause of the crash. The pilots failed to respond correctly to a malfunctioning airspeed sensor, leading to a stall. The crash of Flight 447 led to major changes in pilot training and safety procedures worldwide. Imagine a giant wave of molasses destroying a town. On the 15th of January 1919, a storage tank ruptured in Boston's North End, releasing 2.3 million gallons of molasses into the streets. The molasses flood traveled at an estimated 35 miles per hour, destroying everything in its path, including buildings and streets. The disaster claimed the lives of 21 people, with many more injured, and left a trail of destruction 90 feet wide and 160 feet long. The molasses was so thick and heavy that it took weeks to clean up, with workers using steam shovels and dynamite to remove the sticky substance. The Great Molasses Flood was one of the most bizarre and deadly disasters in American history, with no clear cause or explanation for the tank's rupture. Discover the fascinating story of how the renowned physicist Stephen Hawking hosted a time traveler's party but didn't send out any invitations until after the event, challenging our understanding of time. In 2009, Stephen Hawking hosted a time traveler's party at the University of Cambridge. He didn't send out any invitations until after the event, on June 28, 2009. The party was held in a lecture room, decorated with balloons and a banner reading, "Welcome, Time Travelers." Hawking's experiment aimed to prove that time travel to the past is impossible, as no one showed up. If time travel were possible, at least one person from the future would have attended the party. Hawking's thought-provoking stunt challenged our understanding of time and its mysteries. Discover how engineers are designing sustainable skyscrapers like the Bahrain World Trade Center, with built-in wind turbines generating 15% of the building's power. The Bahrain World Trade Center is one of the first skyscrapers to integrate wind turbines into its design. The building's 3 wind turbines generate 15% of its power, reducing carbon emissions by 1,100 tons annually. Sustainable skyscrapers like this one can reduce energy consumption by up to 50% compared to traditional buildings. Green roofs and walls, like those on the Bahrain World Trade Center, can reduce urban air temperatures by up to 4 degrees Celsius. Engineers are also incorporating solar panels, rainwater harvesting, and graywater reuse into sustainable skyscraper designs. Explore the mysterious far side of the moon, featuring NASA's Apollo 17 mission and the surprising findings of the Soviet Union's Luna 3 spacecraft. The moon's far side, sometimes called the dark side, is never visible from Earth due to tidal locking. The Soviet Union's Luna 3 spacecraft was the first to image the moon's far side in 1959. Apollo 17's mission in 1972 included the first manned expedition to the moon's far side. The far side has fewer maria, or dark basaltic plains, than the near side, with only one large mare. The far side's surface is more mountainous and rugged, with thicker crust than the near side. The moon's far side is not permanently dark, as it experiences day and night just like the near side.